we are live on YouTube and we can begin. So greetings, this is Edward Ojambo. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use the Camera2 API for Android. The programming language you're going to use will be Kotlin. Most of the tutorials you see online are for Java, and that works pretty well, but I wanted to try out Kotlin because it's supposed to be a more modern take on programming. And you don't have to use the old, I don't want to say outdated, but the old methods where you had to worry about like memory leaks and you had to write so much code just for something you want something simple. In this case, it's the API is the Camera2 API, which is actually recommended. The other one is Camera X. So that's what we're going to do today. So before we begin, I want to let you know that I do a live stream every day. What you should do is just go to the jumbo.com website and you go under the watch menu and live sub menu. Then you can see, for example, this one, the Kotlin Camera2 API Android development on YouTube. That's what I'm doing now. That's a channel YouTube, and then the approximate date and time. And the one for tomorrow, you can see the name here and what channel and the approximate date and time. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, so basically the Camera2 API Android was introduced for Android API level 21, and that was corresponding to Android 5.0, which is Lollipop. The Camera2 API introduced new features to control, capture, and manipulate the captured images. Also, the Android 2 API reference provides detailed information. So I have a link here. You can I'll click it here and we'll take a look at it here as well. So it opens up on the developer. You see it's android.hardware.camera2, and you see there's a lot of things you can do here. So for example, here there's a capture section, capture callback, camera device. So you have lots of things here. You can these are the classes, but for example, you can control things like aperture. There's a lot of things you can control. For my particular characteristics here, so properties describing a camera device. So let's just quickly take a look at that one. So as you can see here, you have lots of other things here, like lens facing, location, available modes, FPS, priority, AE, compensation. You can see auto framing. There's a lot of effects. So there's a lot of stuff for the Android 2 API. We don't care too much about this because I said for my particular use case, all I care about is, if you remember, the chicken webcam. So all I care about is just simply getting a decent photo and basically uploading it to a server. The server is going to be locally hosted as well. So we'll tackle that part in a future tutorial. So what we're basically going to do for this tutorial is we're going to use the Camera2 API, and we're going to place the camera, basically preview it using the texture view. I already mentioned it's part of the ongoing chicken webcam app series. So why did I decide to do more native instead of using the HTML5? That's because what I found was that I actually installed Droid webcam, and I was so surprised at the quality, even though I set it to just be, I think, 1080p. I was so surprised how the quality was, and this happened when I actually lost 6 chickens. So I left the camera running even when the entire day was very cloudy, and then even at night I was really surprised that it still took very good pictures. I was just blown away, and I was like, wow, because I remember even when I started using the back camera for the HTML5 app, quality wasn't very nice because you're very limited in what you can control. They do have some you do have some constraints, but it's not the same like with a native. So another thing is because it's running basically a web browser, has to be on all the time. So the good thing about using native, in this case, I'm going to put it in the texture view. I don't actually need that. I don't need a preview. So meaning that what I could do is I could just take photos and just upload them to my server. So I don't need to take a preview. I could basically preview them on the server. Or I can have a button just to preview and take off the preview. You can't do that when you do the HTML5 app. So this way the battery use will be less. So for example, when I run both of them, I'll give you an example. So when I ran the HTML5 app, I had to connect the old phone. I had to leave it connected because it drains the battery. Even with the dimmed one, on the iPhone it's much better, but on the Android it just drained the battery very quickly. Like just plug it in. There was one time it was 80%. I plugged it in. I started the app. Then I realized, I need to plug in. So I went to get the charger, and then I came back. It was already just in a few, not even like maybe 30 seconds, and it was already down to 32%. Right. So for example, when I ran the Droid Cam, although I was running it using OBS Studio, and I forgot to actually plug in the charger, it was able to run for several hours. I think 7 hours. And I think it actually started like 82%, not 100%, 82%. When I went to pick it up at night, it was just down at 40%. So I was really impressed. Okay. So for this particular tutorial, basically you can connect your Android device. So for in this particular case, I have the Sony Xperia XA1 Ultra. That's a phone that came out in 2017, a mid-range phone. And then my daily driver is Samsung Galaxy S21 FE 5G. It was supposed to come out 2021, but due to the delays because of the lockdown and stuff, it actually came out in 2022. So this is my daily driver. So you can connect the device to your, for example, I'm going to be using Android Studio today. You can connect it using wireless IP and Wi-Fi, of course, and WLAN and TCP IP. If you don't know what that means, I have a glossary here. That's a transmission control protocol. Or you can connect it to USB. I can't connect it to USB because I need to connect the microphone, the headset. And then ADB, this is the command line tool, the Android debug bridge. I've done a full tutorial on this, so you can go look it up. And API, obviously, if you don't know what that means, it stands for Application Programming Interface, a set of rules, protocols that enable software applications to communicate with each other, to exchange data, features, and functions. In this case, it's the Camera2 API. And what's a UI? That's a user interface. And what is the texture view? That's an Android component used for rendering video and graphics onto the Android UI hierarchy. Okay, and this is the source code we're going to use today. And this is the part to preview the camera. So as you can see here, I'm using Android Studio. Of course, you can do this in a command line. You just need to put them in the same folder and just run the command if you don't need to use Android Studio. I use Android Studio because it helps me keep up with the latest features, and because if I just use command line, I could probably just be using Java to this very day. So just know what's going on, what's popular, and just try it out myself. So basically what we're going to do today is I didn't have enough time to connect my device with the wirelessly. So I'll see if the Android Studio is able to do that for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate an Android layout file. That's basically this is the path to put it into, and you'll see that when I do that. And then you need to set Android manifest permissions, obviously for the camera. You need access to the camera. And then we're going to generate the Android code snippet to test the camera API. Basically, we're just going to take the camera. So this is the, as you can see here, where my mouse is, this is the emulator. So this is how it works. Emulator obviously doesn't have a camera. In the old days, when it was using Eclipse, you were able to actually use the webcam as a camera. Maybe you can still do that with this one, this version. I'll probably have to test that in the future. Maybe I'll do that in a separate tutorial. Okay, and then here you can see once it gets the camera permissions up here, and here you can see it's previewing, and then obviously if you have a real device, this is what it would look like here. Okay, and this is the live, if you're on YouTube right now, you can actually ask me questions and I'll be able to answer them for you. And then of course, Kotlin is licensed under the Apache license version 2. And Android itself is licensed under Apache License 2 for the user space software and the GNU public license for the Linux kernel. So the permissive licenses, that's the Apache license, those are permissive. Basically, all they require is a provision of copyright notice and disclaimer. While the copyleft license, that's the GNU public license, that's for the Linux kernel. That comes with strict rules and requirements to ensure the software remains free and open source. Regardless of the license, they all allow commercial use, modification, dispute, and making data proprietary. Consult the license for more specific details. Okay, so let's head over to Android Studio, and I'm going to create a new project, and then we can get started. So let me see, what did I call this one? Kotlin Camera. I'll call it just Kotlin Camera2. Okay, here. So when you open up Android Studio, the first thing it'll ask you is to create a new project. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to use we'll use an empty activity. Oh, one more thing. Most of the tutorials out there, even in 2025, they will tell you that if you use an empty activity, you'll be able to select the language. That's not true, and I'll prove it here. So if, for example, next here, you see, it doesn't give me a language selector here. But if I go back, pick an empty, no activity at all, you see, I can pick the language. Java or Kotlin. But in this case, I just create an empty one because by default, Google wants you to use Kotlin. So see here. So give it a name here. I'll say Camera2 Kotlin. Okay, and that's fine for the name. That location is fine. The minimum, I'll just leave the defaults. This is because that phone I was telling you about, it actually came with Android 7. It was updated after about a year to Android 8. So I know I could test it on that one. So the minimum SDK. So just make sure you pick whatever you want. As I said, because I'm targeting all devices, so this is fine. And the build configuration language, that one you can just leave as default, which I will. What other option do they have? Oh, you can have Groovy. So I'll just leave the default and I click finish. Come on. Okay, here we go. This is what it looks like. It creates a main activity Kotlin file for us. It's kind of weird because it still says Java here, even though it's Kotlin, but that's because you can still use Java in here. Okay, so with this, it imports a few things for us. So we can just leave everything there. That's not a problem. So what we're going to do first is instead of writing the code first, so we should go to the permissions here. Let me actually just take this out of the way so it stops doing that annoying thing. I'm checking, see if there's any. Okay, there's nobody chatting yet, so just give me a second. All right, so we actually don't need any of this stuff here. So actually, I'll do the. Let me see if I should do here. I'm not too sure what we should do. Okay, so what I'll do is, okay, so first thing, I think the easiest thing to do, yeah, okay, we're good, it's finished finally. So let's go to the res here and XML. So it doesn't have one here, so let's make one. I'm not sure if I should make one if I really need one. Okay, I'll just create one. So go new, and we need a layout. So we need a layout file, so XML layout file. And I'll just call it activity, if I spell properly, activity main. Okay, well, that's running. I don't know why it's so slow. Wow. Okay, so just give me a second here to get started. Oh, this is Camera2 Kotlin. Okay, that's the project. All right, so source main. Okay, put you here. Okay, so we've created the main file here. So that's in the res XML folder. I think that's why you put it. Oh, it puts it in the layout. Sorry, layout. Okay, so I didn't check it, but if we actually go to the code, I prefer to see the code here. So you see, it's using the linear layout. That's probably fine. We can delete this as well and just change it to, all we need is a textured layout. That's all we need really. So let's do that. So here's the other one here. So this is, what is it here? With layouts, you see it's used the linear layout. So what we want to do is we want to use a relative layout. Do they even have relative layouts here? Yeah, so this is why I don't like using the GUI. So I'm just going to delete it, and I'm just going to get rid of that and just add my own layout here. I'll just copy paste to save time. Okay, we don't need a button here. I'm not too yeah, we actually don't need a button, so I'll just get rid of that. That's all we need. We just need the texture layout here. And you can see here it's texture, so it takes up 100% of the parent. That's perfectly fine. So we save this. All right, let me zoom in. Sorry about that. How do I zoom in? There we go. So it's the relative layout. We set the width to match parent, whatever this match parent, and then we just put a textured view in there. We give it an ID. This is the target. We're going to target it by its ID, and it's wrap content. Wrap content meaning it takes up the remaining space, which is exactly what we want. Next, we're going to go to the manifests, Android manifest here. I'll zoom in here, control key. So what we need is, we just need a permission, and there are a couple of permissions we need. So I'll just start typing. It should be straightforward. So we'll just type users. So users feature. Okay, then it's Android name, and the one we want is Android, and you can see right here, I think it's showed, yeah, here we go, camera. And then you put you type Android required, and then the answer is obviously true. And then we're done here, so I'll just close it off. Next, we need a permission. So a little space here, just keep them separately. So users permission. This one is going to be Android permission dot camera. There we go, camera. So that is all we need. Yeah, that's all we need. So close that off. So I separate them just easy. So this is the two things we added. We added the users feature, and so this tells people know that it's going to use your camera. And then obviously, in order to use the camera, you need the permissions. So that's a permission that it will request. Unfortunately, this is not enough anymore. We need to also check for the permission again in the code. So I don't even know why. I don't know why this does here. This makes sense. I don't know why this makes sense, because we have to request it anyway. I think it's because Android maybe allows people to install something even though it's going to require if that specific feature. Okay, so let's go back to our Kotlin, the code here. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to request a few things. So what we can do is we can trying to see what's the easiest way to do this. I'm just thinking. Okay, yeah, so it uses a component activity view. I really dislike this, but I will. Oh, I forgot one thing. Sorry, I forgot that well, I forgot to mention this, so this is actually pretty bad. Sorry, right in the article, I was saying that I got the sample code from Tim uh, Stanterfield, Stanterfold's article. I actually put a link there and I forgot to actually open that up, so I apologize for that. So basically, what I need to do is I need to okay, so up here somewhere, I need to get the variables. So that's what I'll do here. I think I'll do it up here, just here. So I'll create a private. I think I might have to go a little bit faster here. It's already 20 minutes has passed. I can't believe it. Let me see if I can. No, okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking, oh, this is, yeah, so that's the weird thing about Kotlin is that you can also do a, you can also do a, what do you call this? You can do things like this. You can use just Java. So up here somewhere, I'm guessing after, I'll do it after. Here, I'll say equals find view by ID. Excuse me. So if you remember our ID in the ID was this one, texture view. Okay. Let's see what else I have here. Just a second. Okay, so we have that. We have this. What else do we need to do? So okay, let me see. We'll convert this. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, next is need to go and create a thread to use this information now. So let's go and take care of that. So what I can do is I'm just thinking whether I should open up a function or okay, I'll just put it here. So try. Okay, so import that class, the class manager. Import this class as well for the context. This one as well. Package manager. Activity. And camera device. Do we import text review? Did I put it here? I spelled wrong. Text review. Okay, so this should be, actually I think I'll just, I will not use the private there. I think I'll just do it here. Change this to val. Texture view. r.id. Okay. Why is this messed up? Okay, there we go. So, oh, the camera permission code, I need to make a val. I think I'll make that here. I can hard code it as well. So I think I'll just make it private. Late int var equals 101. Okay, so okay. Okay, what else is here? Yeah, this is why I dislike Kotlin. It's like or Android Studio. It's like I can't get any of this to work. It's probably because of the imports. Yeah, I think it probably imported the wrong thing. So at least this is all good. I call it T view here. Where was my, call this T view. T view. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, so I have to go and fix this up here in the imports. See how much time it is. I might have to stop this and continue. This is what problems I said I dislike about Android Studio is that the imports are not as not automated like they used to be with the clips. Okay, so let's see here. Going to check it out here and get this out of the way. So where is, so let's see this one. No, that's not it. This is Java. That's not what I want. Okay, so I am going to, okay, I'm gonna, yeah, since this is a problem, I'm gonna start all over again. I'm gonna try something different. Okay, whatever. Okay, so that's all done. That's all taken off. So let's start again. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a, I'm gonna use an image view instead. Let's get this out of the way. Actually, I can probably get over this too, so it's fine. Class image view, that's great. Then what I'm going to do is the bundle. I actually don't need this, but I'll just leave that in there. So what I will do is I'm going to create I'm going to get the linear layout here. So down here. Actually, I don't need this as well. Just get rid of all this stuff. I need it. And delete this stuff too. Okay. So grab that. Linear layout. Now I'll grab an image view. And then what I'll do is I'll set the content to the linear layout. And then what I'll do is I'll create a function called open camera. If I right click this, it should be able to create a function. Yeah, there we go, create function. So we create a function called private fun open camera. That's fine. That's what we're going to do. So what this is going to do is it's going to yeah, so what it will do is it will just take the camera and it will use the camera intent. Actually, this is for a future tutorial. Oh, okay, this is a fail. All right, this is a complete fail. All right, so I'm running out of time here, so this is a complete fail. This is I'm going to stop this and I will just update the video later. I'm just going to stop this right now. It's a complete fail. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just going to end here because this is taking way too long. I'll just upload a video where everything is fixed up. One of the problems I said I dislike about Android Studio, I guess this is with this version, it's not picking up what I want. It's way too slow. All right, so sorry about that. This is embarrassing. Yeah, we'll pick up the next one. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Let me see. There's actually let's see here. Yeah, yeah. So I got a little bit confused with the between Kotlin and Java, and I'm not too sure. I see here. I'm not gonna give up. Hold on a second. I think. Okay, so wait. Okay, wait. Okay, I changed my mind. I'm stubborn. Okay, so I'm gonna change my mind again, and what I'm gonna do is I am going to yes. Okay, so I'm gonna change my mind again. Hopefully I not too crazy here. Okay, so let's show this, import this, put this, put class. Which one is here? Okay, use that one. Called activity main. So set content view. So we're gonna do r dot layout dot activity main. There we go. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. Hopefully this goes quickly. Okay, so get system camera manager handle thread and camera ID. That's the camera. Hopefully it's the back camera of back facing camera. Then we're going to create a function create camera preview. And yes, do that as well. So then what we're going to do is we're going to have a function down here after all this. It's going to be start capture. Actually, I don't think we need that. Okay, so we have, I think this is not used anywhere. So we have camera preview session. which is this one here. It's going to log, that's fine. Yeah, so this is all we should need, I believe, and I should be able to run this. So where's our debug? It's going to use the emulator created before. Oh, so let's take a log cart here and see what's going on. No connected devices. Okay, there we go, it's connected. Says can't access constructor handler on 4039. Okay, so where is my handler? API. Okay. All right. This is embarrassing. All right. Okay. I gotta stop now. It's been way too long. I'll fix the video and I'll get this working. All right. I'll just stop here and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, some chat. Okay, finally. At least I can answer questions in chat. Okay. Do you need to have a background in Spring Boot for Kotlin? No. You can actually just use plain Java. I do not recommend the conversion as it messes things up. Okay. The other person, I don't know what language that is, so I can't answer that one. Yeah, I don't know what language that is. Wait a few more questions. Okay, so this is a complete fail. Most likely because the Android Studio probably changed and it did not do what I wanted. But I'll get it working, and I said I'll post a fixed video for this. And also in the future, I'm just going to use Java. As you can see here, if we go back to the article, let me actually pull up the article here. Where is it here? So we'll pull up the article here. Where is it here? Yeah, so this is the article. So if you go to the live, you see the next time I do this, I'm actually just using Java. I prefer Java on one of those rare occasions. I just realized I could probably just have gone through the screenshots here and just copy everything in here instead. It's probably another option. Okay, so I'm going to stop this because this has been a major fail. I'm actually super embarrassed. Should probably even just delete this. Okay, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. It's just a fun little video. Talk to you later. Bye.